A very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of the All India Liquid Bulk Importers and Exporters Association for our 23rd anniversary celebrations today. Friends, we are really grateful that most of our guests and dignitaries have joined us, and we do admit that many of our friends are on their way. But keeping the time in mind, we are going ahead and starting our program. It's an earnest request to everyone to kindly please keep your cell phones on silent. In case of any emergency calls, definitely yes, but otherwise please do keep your phones on silent. May I please request the sound team to kindly play the AILBIEA anthem, please. You can dim the lights also. Thank you so much.
Propelling exim to a superior grade. AILBIEA, 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 AILBIEA. Body and soul of liquid bulk grade, propelling exim to a superior grade. We pledge in you all of our trust. We'll bring you to glory. We can, we must. Officials and exim friends, with fairness and transparency, we strive to work, support and assistance, we never show. AILBIEA, 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 AILBIEA. Body and soul of liquid bulk grade, propelling exim to a superior grade. We pledge in you all of our trust. We'll bring you to glory. We can, we must.
Friends, today we are honored to be joined by a host of distinguished guests. But a very important aspect of our program, which we wish to get to right at the beginning, is about something which all of us have heard about, The upcoming Vadhavan port in Maharashtra. There is a fantastic presentation in this regard, and there could be none other than Shri Unmesh Wagh sir, who is the JNPA port chairman. Sir has graced us with his presence here today. I'll give a quick brief about introduction of sir, although he is someone who needs no introduction. Sir is an IRS officer of the 2000 cadre batch. He's a graduate in mechanical engineering, pursued his master's in business administration in materials and finance. He is currently serving as the chairman of JNPA, as well as the managing director and CEO of Vadhavan Port. Additionally, he is holding the charge of director operations of the Chabar port in Iran. During his tenure at JN Port, interventions have been made to bring significant changes in the whole port ecosystem so as to benefit the end customers in the EXIM trade. The development of the upcoming Vadhavan port. Thank you, sir. So considering the magnitude and the importance of this project, I take this opportunity to invite you, sir, to share with us the presentation of this port project.
Good evening, distinguished guest. Thank you for this opportunity. I will be crisp, but I will give just an outline of the project. As Mr. Godrej asked me when this project will be completed, so let me begin with that. The timeline given and planned, because Mr. Sushil Kumar is also here, he was our JS when the project went for the cabinet clearance. So the timeline is 29-30 is when the first ship will call on, but we are quite hopeful that we try to build it 1 year in advance. So it is a 28-29 we are expecting first ship in Vadhavan. Yeah. So this particular port is located at 150 kilometers north of JNPA, Mumbai, and to be precise, is a 40 kilometers south of Maharashtra-Gujarat border. It's in Palghar district. The place where the land connects to the sea is Vadhavan, which is a small village there. That's why the name is Vadhavan Port. The port is strategically located, and it will serve as a starting point for the INSTC and IMEC corridor once these corridors are finalized and operational. At present, just to give you some idea that 65% of EXIM cargo is catered by JNPA and Mundra. And if you add 10% of Pipavav, 75% of India's containerized EXIM cargo catered by these three ports. The JNPA is 90% operational efficiency. It is operating at 90% operational efficiency. Similar is a Mundra. And this year we are growing by 10%. So considering this growth rate, the JNPA will be full even after addition of 2.4 million TUs, which is added in April 2025. We will have this capacity exhausted in 2029. And all our future development is in this area only, that is the western part of India, northern part of India. So we urgently require one port, and that's why the Vadhavan, this port will have a total draft of 18 meter plus. So any container vessel which is built till today, that is 24,000 TU plus, can come to this particular port. So as status of various activities, we got all the environmental clearance, we got the cabinet clearance for the 76,000 crore rupees expenditure, We also got all the connectivity clearances, the 32-kilometer road which will connect the port to the existing Ahmedabad-Mumbai highway, that has been declared as a 248 yes as a national highway, and 12 kilometers rail link which will connect Ward 1 to DFC, that has been also approved by the cabinet. The only land acquisition is required for the road connectivity, so that land acquisition is in progress, and we have already 50% of activity already done, and we will get that land in February 2025. This particular port requires two raw materials. One is sand, 200 million cubic meter of sand, and 67 million metric ton of stone. So we have secured both. The sand we will get from the Daman coast, which is 50 kilometers from the proposed site. We reserve this particular sand, this burrow pit, through Ministry of Mines, and this is the first kind of mining which will take place inside sea for the creation of landmass. The stone we are securing, we have identified the hillocks, and we have now started our survey to identify the quality of rocks, and primary survey suggests that the rock quality is good, and we will go for the reserving this rock for the port. This is the traffic projection. When we did this traffic projection 2-3 years back, our growth rate of JNPA is 6%. At present, our growth rate is 12%. And also the EXIM growth rate is approximately 12%. So what is written here is financial year 35. It will be the projection for the financial year 2030. So you can see we require 14 million TEUs capacity in 2030, and Ward 1 will have that capacity, so there will be no issue about the capacity. Similarly, the other liquid, because we have 4 liquid terminals which is of your interest. So we have also did some traffic study for that. But now due to the rapid growth of India, this traffic projection which was we consider as a realistic now looks like a pessimistic. So the optimistics are much higher. This is the layout of Ward 1. This whole port is an offshore port, and we will create 1448 hectares of land mass. The 194 hectares near the shore, that protruding part you can see, that is near shore, where all our tank farms and our administrative buildings, they were built there, and the inside part is our terminals. So 9 container terminals. We have 9 container terminals. It is not going. Yeah. So this is the layout. The complete layout, which is a phase 1 and phase 2 layout. There are 9 container terminals. Each container terminal is 1 kilometer length. Then there are 4 multipurpose terminal, 1 ro-ro terminal, and 4 liquid terminals. I have some issue. Yeah. The phase 1 with 4 container terminals and multipurpose terminals, and phase 2 there are total 9 terminal, 4 multipurpose, 4 liquid terminal, 1 ro-ro and 1 for the Coast Guard. This port is built with PPP model. The basic infrastructure, which is a 10 kilometer breakwater, then all the reclamation, which as a concessioning authority JNPA will do, and the terminals will be built by the concessioners. The investment these are the investment, how it is done, it is shown there. I will not go into that details. Total project cost is 76,000 crore rupees. These are the project timelines. All the project tenders we will give by 2025 April, and our work, the first stone will be laid in the sea by June 2025. And as per the schedule, we will complete this port as I told you in the beginning, but we are quite hopeful that we will advance it by 1 year. These are the traffic projections for the liquid cargo because it is of your interest. These projections we have done 3 years back. I think we have to change that considering the demand requirement of India. These are the vessel call at Vadwan on commodity wise, the edible oil, chemical and other liquid. We will not do LPG and LNG at Vadwan because we didn't get the permission from Dahanu Taluka Environmental Protection Authority, which is a body which clears it first, then we go to the environment clearance in Delhi. This is also our future cargo evacuation in Vadwan. In container, and mostly our modal share by railway is around 40%, but in other commodities, this is the modal share by rail and road. This is also a cargo evacuation from Vadwan. The current status. One more important thing about Vadwan is this port will be green since inception. I mean, all the electricity required will be from the green sources. We will not use diesel trucks for the key to yard movement. All trucks will be electrical. And for your information, within 1 year, JNPA will be replacing 400 trucks which transport cargo from key to yard. And we have already started e-trucks from August this year. So this, even the shore, with the shore power, the ships calling on to this particular port, they will use shore power, so they switch off the engines. Even the tugs required for the port will be green tugs. So the new port will be carbon neutral port. So the current status of this particular port, we received the consent to establish from the Environment Ministry. As I told, we will get the land required for the road in February next year, and then the road construction will start. We have already floated the tender for the near shore construction, and it will be awarded in the January, so the work start in January. The bigger portion of the reclamation will be done by the hybrid annuity model. Today only we have sent that appraisal proposal to the ministry so that we will get the clearance from Public-Private Partnership Appraisal Committee of Ministry of Finance by end of this year, and we will float those tenders also because that is the biggest tender ever given by any public sector in the construction area, that is around 24,000 crore. So all over the world there is a lot of interest in this particular thing. Then the Maharashtra government already reserved water for this particular port, and the construction of the water pipeline will start since January. We have already identified the land for our colony, because this port is totally landlord port, so only 60 to 70 staff is required for port to run, that the permanent staff, but we require huge customs staffs there. So we have in anticipation purchased land for customs also, and we have also purchased land in anticipation for the CISF and other partner government agency, because this is a remote area and there are no facility to stay available. So we will construct the whole colony before the port start functioning. So this is the, at present, the status of this port, and with support of all of you, we can construct this port within time. As far as the finance is concerned, all the banks of India, they are ready to finance it. Rather, Power Finance Corporation, Rural Electrification Corporation, they have sanctioned 21,000 crores for the construction of this port. But we are quite hopeful that we will get money from the World Bank and ADB. So the money is also not an issue. So this is all about Vadhavan. Thank you for your patient hearing.
Thank you so much, sir, for this impactful presentation and the details that you shared about Vadhavan Port. I request, we'll move on to our formal function, friends. I request our AILBIEA committee members to please come beside the dais. Friends, since we have a lot of ground to cover, we will be welcoming our dignitaries as I invite them on the dais. I request my AILBIEA committee members to please come by the stage. I take great pride and honor in inviting our founder member, the Managing Director of Godrej Industries, Sri Nadir Godrej sir, to please come on the dais. And I request Mr. Jayant Lapsia and Mr. Rajesh Krishnani to please escort him. Sir. Appa. I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of another of our founder members, Mr. MP Taparia sir from Supreme Industries, Supreme Petrochem. He was here with us. He unfortunately had to step out. But yes, for the benefit of the audience, I now take great pride and pleasure in inviting another of our founder members, the Managing Director of VVF Industries, Mr. Rustam Joshi sir. I request Pramod sir and Prakash sir to please escort sir on the dais. I now invite the Managing Director of Aegis Logistics, Mr. Sudhir Malhotra sir on the dais, please. I request Ashish sir and Prakash sir to please escort sir. Principal Chief Commissioner of GST. I'm so used to saying customs because sir has been our Chief Commissioner at customs for such a long time. Shri Pramod Kumar Agarwal sir, I request you to please join us on the dais. I request Mr. Jayant Lapsia and Mr. Manik Nasta to please escort sir. We are very fortunate to have amongst us today the Chairman of the Deen Dayal Port Authority and the current Chairman of the Mumbai Port Authority, Shri Sushil Kumar Singh sir. I request Ashish Modi sir and Prakash sir to please escort sir on the dais. I request we now call upon Sri Unmesh Wagh sir, Chairman of JNPA and the Managing Director and CEO of Vadhavan Port. I request Mr. Jayant Lapsia and Mr. Rajesh Krishnani to please escort sir on the dais. I now invite our distinguished guest and one of our leading speakers from the morning session, now Chief Commissioner holding charge at CSTAT New Delhi, Sri S.K. Rahman sir. I request Mr. Pramod sir and Mr. Manik sir to please escort sir on the dais. We are very fortunate to have amongst us another of a very, very senior industrialist amongst our midst. I take great pleasure in inviting the Chairman of BASF, Chairman of Kansai Nerolac, and heading many, many institutions, Sri Pradeep Shah on the dais. I request Mr. Jayant Lapsia and Mr. Bharat Trivedi to please escort sir on the dais. We are honored to be joined by the chairman of our Federation of Freight Forwarders Association in India, Mr. Dushyant Mulani. A big round of applause. I request Mr. Rajesh Krishnani and Mr. Ashish Modi to please escort sir on the dais. We also have amongst our midst the chairman of the International Freight International Custom Brokers Association, Mr. Shankar Shinde. I request you to please join us on the dais. I request Mr. Jayant Lapsia and Mr. Manik Nasa to please escort sir. And also invite our AILBIEA President, Mr. Jayant Lapsia, to please join us on the dais. Friends, we are fortunate to have received a short video message from Chairman CBIC, Sri Sanjay Agarwal, sir. And at this moment, we would like to share his message with all of us. I request if the technical team can please play the Chairman CBIC message, please. No,
A very good evening and warm greetings to all dignitaries, stakeholders, and esteemed members of All India Liquid Bulk Importers and Exporters Association present at this prestigious gathering. It gives me immense pleasure to address you all on the occasion of Association's 23rd anniversary. While prior commitments have prevented me from joining in person, I am grateful for this opportunity to share my thoughts and extend my best wishes. AILBIEA has been a vital partner in nurturing an environment of collaboration and mutual growth between industry stakeholders and the policymakers. Your commitment to rationalizing trade system, enhancing infrastructure, and supporting global competitiveness of the India's EXIM stakeholders in the liquid bulk trade is commendable. Over the past 2 decades, AILBIEA has evolved, uniting stakeholders across the liquid bulk trade sector. Your efforts in creating a cohesive forum for importers, exporters, service providers, and policymakers have significantly contributed to the efficiency and competitiveness of this crucial sector in India's trade landscape. As the apex body of indirect taxation, CBIC deeply values partnership with institutions like AILBIEA. We recognize that the liquid bulk trade sector is a vital contributor to national revenue, accounting for a significant share of collections. The liquid bulk trade, encompassing petrochemicals, edible oils, and industrial chemicals, plays a vital role in driving India's economic growth. This makes it imperative for us to continue improving facilitation measures, reduce bottlenecks, and expedite clearances to avoid costly delays and damage. During my tenure at Kandla Port, I have witnessed firsthand the dynamics of liquid bulk cargo movement. I understand even minor bottlenecks can have a significant impact on efficiency, and at the same time, process improvements can unlock tremendous potential across the sector. CBIC has always prioritizing creating a trade-friendly ecosystem in simplifying procedures, implementing technological advancements such as faceless assessment, and addressing industry concerns. Your proactive engagement has been instrumental in resolving challenges and ensuring smooth operations in this crucial sector. For trade, coordinating the movement of large volumes of liquid cargo across different transportation modes, navigating port congestion, and dealing with varying regulatory requirements pose significant logistical challenges. We are all aware of the Honorable Prime Minister's vision for multimodal infrastructure connectivity through the PM Gati Shakti Master Plan. It aims to address the past issues through holistic planning for stakeholders for major infrastructure projects and improve the global competitiveness of local products by cutting down logistic costs and improving the supply chains while ensuring proper linkages for local industry and consumers. India's efforts have been recognized globally with improvements in trade facilitation indices including the World Bank's Logistic Performance Index score. In the line of announcement made by the Honorable Finance Minister in a budget speech this year, the department is committed to standardization and digitization of all processes in clearances. We have received some suggestions from AILBIEA also, and we are in process of finding technological solutions for them. Moving forward, CBIC remains committed to supporting your endeavors, enhancing facilitation measures, and working together to reduce costs and improve efficiency. And we will continue to work closely with AILBIEA to address these concerns. As you celebrate this milestone, I extend my best wishes for a successful event and for AILBIEA's continued success in the years ahead. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Our sincere thanks to Chairman Sir. I now invite our advisor, Mr. G. Chandrasekhar Sir, to share his insights with us with the opening remarks. A warm round of applause, please.
Good evening, namaste. It's such a delight for me to be in the midst of such glittering galaxy of distinguished dignitaries. I feel quite honored. And thank you very much, Jayant, for inviting me. Of course, he does every year, and I thank him every year. I want to compliment AILBIEA. I want to compliment the leadership of AILBIEA. You have a wonderful band of activists keeping the association active all the time. 23rd anniversary next year will be 24th, and then we enter the Silver Jubilee year. And that's awesome, and I have been associated with this association for 23 years plus. Thank you. I wrote the Constitution, by the way. Okay, if you are happy with the Constitution. Be that as it may, as my friends have come to expect from me every year during this occasion, I just very quickly give some insights into what's likely to happen in the global commodity markets and how those developments are likely to impact India. Very quickly, there is someone who's going to enter the White House on the 20th of January, 2025, and that's going to create a huge amount of unsettled conditions, as I'm able to see. And the advanced signals are already available. There'll be issues relating to tariffs. There'll be problems relating to immigration. And of course, there'll be big challenge of inflation. And this is something the President-elect in the United States, even before he enters the White House, has already started to work on. There are three priorities which I believe he has set for himself. One, 3% GDP growth for the US in 2025, 2026. He's also said there'll be the fiscal deficit of the US will be 3%. It will be limited to 3%, which is going to be a big challenge. But for commodity market participants, the third, there's a 3-3-3 formula. The third three is that the US is most likely to produce 3 million additional barrels per day of crude oil. And we all know the US produces a large part of the WTI, not Brent, but WTI. And there's a price differential between WTI and Brent. I expect if the US actually starts to produce 3 million barrels a day of crude oil in 2025, it will of course take some time, but I'm sure by the end of the year they would have succeeded. The differential between Brent and WTI will narrow probably to $1 or $2, which currently is $4 or $5. Therefore, the world most likely is going to be awash with a lot of crude oil. This is number one. And Trump is not a great fan of this climate change and all that, whatever he calls them. I don't want to use that term. He calls all them bunkum. Okay. Therefore, the world is going to be awash. US is going to produce a lot of crude oil. That's going to put a lot of global business. There will be disruption to global business. And it, whether we like it or not, it's going to affect India in some way. Okay? And therefore, we've got to be ready. The situation is still unfolding. It's rather difficult to be very precise on what is likely to happen. But there'll be more volatility, there'll be more disruption, and more confusion in the commodity markets over the next 12 months or so. There is also, I'm sure my friends want to know about my views on palm oil, which is of course we import about 8 to 9 million tons of palm oil. We are the largest importers. Currently prices are about $1,200 plus. But there is a seasonal factor which we need to know. Jan, Feb, up to March, prices will remain high. Prices will remain elevated. But from March onwards, even if you look at forward prices, Feb, March, April, there is a decline of at least 100 ringgits, the Malaysian price. For the forward prices are going to be very substantially lower. And if South American soybean crop shapes up well, and it is shaping up quite well, and the next US planting and harvest size also continues to remain big, we can expect a big correction in palm oil prices, say from April onwards. Palm oil's peak production season also starts from April. From April 2025 onward, I expect a big correction, provided there are no other disturbances. Even in today's high price of palm oil, 5,000 ringgits plus, there's a huge element of speculative capital. And once market starts to correct, that speculative capital will move out of the market, and the correction will be very sharp and somewhat exaggerated. Even the current prices are exaggerated, primarily because of the speculative capital. But once the capital goes out, there'll be a very, very sharp correction. And I think this is something we all have to be ready with, particularly the liquid bulk players. Otherwise, in India, our demand for energy products like crude oil is certainly going to increase. Our demand for edible oil is going to increase. There is no doubt at all. Import volumes will continue to remain the same. And any decline in crude oil prices should be very, very helpful for us, which will help contain imported inflation into our country. And therefore, one has to brace oneself for huge volatility in commodity markets in 2025, uncertainty in commodity market in 2025, and please follow all those scientific risk management policies and principles if we have to stay afloat in the marketplace in 2025. I think I'll stop here. Good luck. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chandra sir. Moving forward quickly, I now invite our President, Mr. Jayant Lapsia, to please give a brief address to the gathering.
For a moment, Chandra didn't mention who wrote the Constitution, whether he wrote it for Indian Constitution or AILBIEA. Anyway, I think it is AILBIEA. Dignitaries on the dais, and my dear friends, it gives me immense pleasure to be standing before you on the occasion of the 23rd anniversary, a roller coaster ride for AILBIEA since inception. We have come a long way, and we have a long way to cover. We have always believed at AILBIEA we do things differently. Right from the inception, we have been mentored by none other than the icon of the Indian industries, Mr. Adi Godrej, and today we have with us Mr. Nadir Godrej, his younger brother. And Mr. Adi Godrej always believed that do things differently, but do it with passion. Today we are in an era where India is evolving. And who knows? COVID was a classic example. 2020. Just a blink and the whole world was devastated. And we are so optimistic when I see people say that 10 years down the line this will happen, 20 years down the line this will happen. By God, will you survive the next moment? That's the question to be asked. Under that grim scenario where we saw people falling like 9 pins, life was so uncertain. Death was dancing in front of all of us. Under that scenario, what comes to mind, particularly of AILBIEA, is that in this country when the dependence on import is so huge, the drivers of Indian economy are the great industrialists. We have the imports, the liquid bulk, which constitutes nearly 67% to the customs and port revenue. Today, what we ask for is not ease of doing business, not trust-based assessments. We ask for facilitation which was existing. It is such an irony that in India, you have a notification issued for ease of doing business, for trust-based assessment. Why? It should be from your mind and heart. You don't need a notification. Trust me, the moment you trust an importer, I'm talking about liquid bulk and our members, once you trust an importer, mind you, is dealing in volumes running into millions of tons, corresponding to millions of rupees and dollars, and he is the lifeline of Indian economy. And what we expect is a facilitation which was existing, but over the period of time, we have seen erosion of values, not amongst the government departments, but amongst our own importers. The loyalty factor has diminished. What the importers do is now take shortcuts. L1 system is being followed. And I'm afraid this has vitiated the whole atmosphere in our liquid bulk. Couple of days back, I met a friend of mine, years back, and he asked me what I was there. He said, I'm into logistics. He said, well, even he was importing, he was the MD of a company. And he said, well, I said, who is your custom broker? And he said, you don't know, I change my custom broker every 6 months. I said, why? He said, I get better service. I call for tenders and I get better rates, lower rates. I was quite amused. I didn't say anything. I met him last year, looking despondent. Entering a temple, I said, "How come you are here?" He said, "No, I lost everything." "And why have you come to the temple?" "I have come to pray." He said, "I was raided by the investigating agencies and I realized that I was befooled by the vendors whom I kept changing, and I had to end up paying a huge penalty, duties and interest, which I couldn't afford, so I had to give up, and now I'm working with the supplier to whom I was supplying." A pitiable state of affairs. You changed your service provider every 6 months, chopping the legs of a loyal provider. I thought to myself, should I ask him, "Are you still married?" Because you never know whether you keep changing your wives or whether you'll go to keep changing your gods. Now, this is a sorry state of affairs. The importer should realize that today custom brokers, the people connected with liquid bulk trade, are your lifeline. You are giving your entire heart and soul to these people. And today morning we had on-site post-clearance audit conference. We had a wonderful talk by Mr. S.K. Rahman, Dr. Joshua, Mr. Pramod Sant, and each one of them spoke of the criticality of the on-site post-clearance audit or post-clearance audit. What will happen? Today you will cut corners. Today you will reduce rates because there is absolutely no ethical values existing in our system. Down the line, 2 years you keep changing people, and 3 years down the line when the audit knocks at your door, premises audit, what will you do? You will be at loss because you will have different classifications for the same goods, you will have different valuations, and then you will have to shell out a lot of things. And that is when it will hit you hard. So my sincere appeal is that, please, don't treat any vendors connected with exempt trade in a lighter way and think that you can play around by just calling for rates and having, this unethical practices of chopping rates and going for relevant tenders. Today you have qualified custom vendors, brokers. Take their help, take their assistance, let them do their audit like it was said by Joshua, Dr. Joshua, before the audit team of customs come. But we don't do that. The next point was the KYC. There is that KYC element, that is know your customers. I say it should be know yourselves, because each importer should know what is importing, what are the classifications, and what are the notifications, because today we have various laws in force. Government keeps introducing BIS, host of sanctions from US, what is applicable, what is not. And trust me, is BIS, which is now imposed almost 80 to 90% of the products, is government equipped to impose BIS, and we are taking it lying low. As an importer, as helping the association to fight against this, because BIS, our country is not equipped. Let me tell you honestly. The imposition of BIS on many products has been a fallacy. And importers are taking lying low because then you don't have time. So what happens is when the import comes, this is what happens. You just juggle around the vendors. You don't know what is what, end up paying duties. And then the government realizes that there is absolutely no resistance from the trade. Now this attitude should change. Today, Customs Department has evolved a very long way. The officers are brilliant. Port has evolved. Today, you have one of the best people handling the port, Sir Unmesh Wagh and Mr. Sushil Kumar Singh, classic example of dynamism at its best. He gave an example. I won't tell you when to clap, but you should clap. It's not like that, in that Hindi thing, "Arey, taliyan bajao," it's all. But you should know when to clap. More the claps, my speech will be successful. When you have such dynamism, and officers like Mr. Pramod Kumar Agarwal, Mr. S.K. Rahman, and other commissioners who are in our midst, you should take advantage of them. How many importers go and interact with them? I don't say that please go. How many of the importers attend the trade meetings called by the customs? You leave it to the vendors, brokers, and then you hold them responsible. They do their best, and one of the best agencies today, I mean associations in India, I would put the dual, that is the twin agencies of BCBA and Triple FAI, who are doing a wonderful job, and they deserve a big round of applause. They are the backbone, the pillars of today, the custom clearance foundation in the country. They take up issues because I have also been attending on behalf of AILBIEA, and I've seen them at close quarters, and a young brigade of the managing committee members in BCBA and Triple FA, which is of course an extended elder brother of BCBA. Friends, with this, I can go on, but we are constrained for time. But let me tell you that time has come for a wake-up call to all the importers and others connected with EXIM trade. Cross your hearts. This life you will pass only once. You are living in an age which is known as Kali Yuga. You never know whether tomorrow morning where you will be, whether you will be in the heaven or in the hell. Hell is earth. Heaven you don't know. So when you have this uncertainty, do your best. Do your best and reap the rewards of good wishes and blessings of the trade. Because if trade blesses you, you will go to heaven. And if trade curses you, along with the trade, you will go to hell. This is an platform, AILBIEA, sir, Mr. Unmesh Wagh and Sushil Kumar ji. This is a very sanctified stage. Whoever has come here has always gone elevated. Chief commissioners have gone to become members of the board. Member has come here and is going to become the chairman. So like chairman of the port, you may go on to become the secretary of shipping and maybe the minister of shipping. That is what we pray. With this, friends, I can go on. There are many issues. But AILBIEA is going. I'm happy to announce that we have a meeting with the finance ministry in the coming week. And a couple of issues we'll be placing with the finance minister and the revenue secretary, because demurrage is an element which government is concerned. The irony is that prior to EDI, the incidence of demurrage was hovering at about 7.8%. And today, with the faceless assessments, AEO, and various other facilitative schemes, the demurrage element has gone up to 26%. So I think we should go back reverse. People say, "Kabhi reverse gear mein nahi jana hai," but time has come when we should relook where we were and try to take things, learn from the past when facilitation was done. In the morning I mentioned, it will be worth mentioning just for a minute. 2000, Mr. Rahman was here as a deputy commissioner, EDI. Liquid bulk was introduced for the first time. There were issues, and we went to him. We said, "Sir, our vessel is berthing. We have not paid duty. We need clearance. Our documents are not ready." He said, "Just give me a letter." And on that letter, he allowed the clearance of the cargo, not discharge, clearance of the cargo to the importer by taking the check deposited with him, and he allowed the clearance of the cargo. How many of us can do that today? With so much of facilitation, AEO, trust-based assessments, it's a dream. What we have experienced at AILBIEA till 2011, 2012, it's missing today. And I pray to CBIC and Finance Minister that these old days should come back. As we all know, we all love old songs, don't we? New songs nobody likes. So we should all like the old policies and thrive on old policies, refurbishing our new policies. Thank you. And with this, I would now call another dynamic speaker. He's a firebrand in our industry. He doesn't speak much. But the moment he stands, I think there'll be goosebumps all around. I call upon Mr. Sudhir Malhotra. And I would request all of you to tape his speech, because he seldom speaks. And one of the dynamic backbones of our industry, Mr. Sudhir Malhotra.
Thank you, Jayant. Good evening, everybody. Good evening to the dignitaries on the dais as well as off dais. Jayant, Jayant and whatever Jayant and Chandrasekhar have talked, I totally agree with that. One thing I can tell you is whatever happens, the bulk trade is going to increase year on year. And I wouldn't like to take more time. I would like that the dignitaries over here, they speak, and I am very eager to listen to the poetry of Sri Nadir Godrej. Thank you.
Sudhir was disappointed. He said, Mr. Nadir Godrej will be reciting poem. I said, yes. Shall I do so? I said, no. So he said, मैं ज़्यादा बात नहीं करूँगा फिर. I said, thank you very much. Now I would request our young, dynamic president of FAI, Mr. Dushyant Malani. I would like to bring forth such youngsters' dynamism. I mean, they are the pillars who actually help facilitating the EXIM trade. Mr. Dushyant Malani, your brief speech, sir.
Good evening, friends. Thank you, AILBIEA. Thank you, Jayan Bhai. Thank you, Harsh. Dignitaries on dais. Our Principal Chief Commissioner, Shri P.K. Agarwal ji, Khader Rahman ji, Chief Commissioner, Unmesh Wagh ji, Shri Godrej, Mr. Mehta, and all dignitaries. Sorry if I've missed somebody. Time is short, and Jayan Bhai has told me to be quick. Jayan Bhai, you spoke about heaven. I'll speak about heaven, what we require for our custom clearances and logistics. We have the galaxy of regulatory officers who are of top-notch mindset, I would say. Each one of the commissioners, the additional commissioners also sitting out here, the port chairman, and you name it, and the top-notch friends from the industry. What do we require? We know that chemical sector, particularly that we are here today for, we were the net importer. Now we have become net exporter in this segment. And the potential is huge. Trust me, it will be within half a decade, it will be at least 2x times we are expecting the kind of activity and exports out of this country. And the prerequisites of heaven that we require, India is foremost in information technology sector. Let us use IT-enabled timelines. Let us use digital technology. All of you are here. Whenever we go across to any of the commissioners out here, chief commissioners, the port chairmen, immediately we get suggestions. And I am requesting that through good officers of AILBIEA and all our senior officers out here, let's get these timelines set through customs EDI systems for clearance. The National Time Release Study has stipulated them, but Jayan Bhai, you are right. For liquid bulk sector, we need minutes, not hours also. And we are sure once we get them, 24 hours for clearance of any liquid bulk cargo of any port, it is possible. Let's connect those dots. We will be able to get this and make our country more competitive and efficient. Next, getting this participating government agencies, which are very important pillar in the field of clearance. How do we get them on board for seamless, no objections and releases? Custom is here. Custom has developed single window system. Our request to the authorities out here, how we can connect those dots, and on that IceGate platform, how we can get the NOCs and test reports within hours. It is possible. We have submitted paper. We will work very closely with AILBIEA to submit that to Honorable Finance Minister. Lastly, when we are talking about all this, trust-based working environment does help a lot. Trust the industry, and let's see how our economy zooms ahead. Thank you all. That's for today.
Thank you, Dushyant. Well said. Why should we have a Vigilance Awareness Week? You should be aware all 365 days. And at AILBIEA, we have seen liquid bulk consignments being cleared within 15 minutes. 15 minutes, and today it is taking 4 to 5 days. So when we go and knock the doors, keep knocking and pleading for expediting clearances, we should not be misunderstood. We have come from an era where we were clearing our goods. Within 15 minutes, I'm not joking, and to validate this, Mr. P.K. Agarwal ji and Mr. Rahman will be there. And of course, all the seniors. I would now call upon Mr. Unmeshwar, please. Mr. Sushil Kumar ji, the most, I think, proactive chairman of Deen Dayal Port, also currently holding additional charge of Mumbai Port. And the port is another lifeline for all the liquid bulk importers. If the port doesn't have enough infrastructural capacities, then the liquid bulk importers can be doomed. A demurrage which can cost $25,000 a day can wipe out the economics of an importer. Now here, Mr. Sushil Kumar Singh at Kandla, when we had issues where there was a congestion at the port and vessels were incurring huge demurrages, he came to our rescue. And he has been very proactive. When we met him, he said, please come forward with suggestions that how can I mitigate these delays, and that is what we are looking at. Please, sir, Mr. Sushil Kumar Singh, a big round of applause.
A very good evening to all the esteemed guests. Before I start, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this platform. And I'll make good use of this opportunity to share some information about the facilities that we have at Kandla Port and the services that we offer. The idea and the objective of my coming here is to interact with you and to bring you to Kandla so that you come there with the trade, with cargo, and also to take inputs from you as to what port needs to do to streamline the procedures, to make it more effective, more productive, bring down the cost of the logistics, bring down the cost of doing business, and make a ecosystem which creates a win-win situation for both of us. So Kandla, as you all must be knowing, is one of the biggest major port of the country, and it's located on the western coast of the country, so in the state of Gujarat. The cargo that we handle, around 60% of that is liquid cargo. It's basically a break bulk handling port. When we say bulk, it includes the liquid bulk and the dry bulk both. But a substantial portion of it is liquid. Now, that includes crude also. So crude, petroleum products at Vadinar, and we have the handling facilities for edible oil, chemicals. Talking of the storage facilities, we have, as on date, around 34 lakh kiloliters of tank farms available there in Kandla, and that is one of the biggest storage farms for liquid cargo available in the country, and in fact, it is one of the biggest in Asia. We are trying to further augment the capacities. A new mission that has been taken up at Kandla Port is under the National Green Hydrogen Mission. Kandla has been declared as a green hydrogen hub. We have allotted some 3,400 acres of land parcel to the industry partners who will be setting up their production plant for production of green hydrogen, green ammonia and its derivatives, be it methanol or any other derivatives. And we are trying to set up common infrastructure for handling of the green hydrogen and its derivatives. Looking at the projected increase in liquid cargo, Kandla Port is also working on augmenting the capacities. When I say augmenting the capacities, we on date have a total designed capacity or installed capacity of handling 267 million tons per annum. And we are handling around 135 to 140 million tons in a year on an average. We are coming up with tenders for new jetties, new oil jetties. On date, we have 7 oil jetties. Eighth one is ready and it is likely to be put up in operation very soon. But we are going to float tenders for adding 3 more new oil jetties, which will be adding a capacity of around 10.5 million tons per annum. We are also trying to create a new port infrastructure, a completely new, you can call it a satellite port kind of a thing, which is coming outside the creek. Now, that will have a capacity of around 135 million tons per annum. And we will be shifting the dry bulk and the break bulk handling from the existing cargo jetties to the new port that we are trying to develop outside the creek. So the existing berths will be then released and restructured to handle liquid cargo. So that will again create additional capacities for taking up more and more of edible oil, chemicals, petroleum products, and all kind of liquid cargo. So the waiting time, as on date, we are facing a problem where the vessels are waiting from 3 to 4 days or even 4 to 5 days. So we are somehow trying to rationalize our procedures, make optimum use of the available capacity so that this waiting time is reduced. And on the other hand, we are also trying to put up new facilities which can cater to the projected increase in liquid cargo that we foresee coming up in the near future. So that is the plan. And I would use this platform to make a request to all of you that we are an enabler we are the enabler of an infrastructure. We have the facility. You are the users of that infrastructure or the facility. So we would request you to give your inputs, your suggestions of tweaking the procedures or making some operational changes and optimizing the existing usage of the existing facilities that we have. That can help in reducing the detentions of the vessels, that can help in improving the productivity at the berth, and that can help in unlocking the efficiencies and the capacities that we have today in Kandla Port. You can directly send it to me on my WhatsApp, you can send it on my mail, and I can assure you that we will not do much research on whatever you say. We will accept it on the face value. We will try to implement it as early as possible. Then we will watch it for 6 months and we will see whether these procedural changes are giving us a positive trend or they are failing on the assumptions that we have made. And then that will be open for the review. But to start with, we will request for the inputs from your side. We will implement and your suggestions without any research and questioning from our side. And then we will see the trend. If the trend is positive, if we see that this decision is beneficial, we will make it a permanent procedure and we will continue with that. So I'll not take much time. Thank you very much once again for giving me this platform. I wish that we use this platform to create a win-win situation for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Music to the ears, music to our ears was your speech, and it was indeed very inspiring. And today we find, of course, at Kandla Port since last about 1 year, congestions, and we have been fortunate that we have such a proactive chairman who has been helping us. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Pradeep Shah, Chairman BSF, please. No, just a few words, let people know. Because here, you know, beyond 2 minutes, the charges go up and then, so you can decide.
Friends, I really don't have anything to say on the handling of cargo, but I'm very impressed by the officials, high officials who are here and whose positive attitude encourages me to think that India has a great future. Prime Minister Modi, and I did a lot of work with him when he was Chief Minister in Gujarat, he had always been talking about ease of doing business, but somewhere it got lost. And I was talking to Dushyant just now, and he talks about how lots of technology can be used to improve the efficiency and ease of doing business and cost reduction. And I hope you will implement that kind of thing. And I heard Mr. Sushil Kumarji's speech, very impressed, and I hope we will see that happen in the near future. Thank you very much.
Man of few words, but a man of great action. Friends, I know we are living in an age where the receptive listening power has come down. We are all eager कि यार खाना कभी चालू होगा और बार कभी चालू होगा यार बहुत हो गया भाषण. But let me tell you, today whatever wisdom you will gain from this prestigious dais, you will never have it at any time in your life. Always learn to admire, learn to appreciate the people who are shaping our destinies of our exim trade, the people who are contributing. So I think in our life we can at least sacrifice 1 or 2 hours listening to them, learning from them, the humility. Chairman of BSF, humility at its best, Mr. Nadir Godrej, Mr. MP Taparia, I can go on and on. These are the people today where if you have to take an appointment, you have to wait in queue for months, and they are at your hands. And if you see your watches, I think it's a cardinal sin. Next, I would like to call upon Mr. S.K. Rahman, incidentally, he deserves a big round of applause for his promotion as Chief Commissioner. The moment he accepted our invitation to come, I said, sir, your promotion is guaranteed. And next day he called me up, Hari, Jain bhai, mera promotion ho gaya.
Thank you, Mr. Jain. Shri Nadir Godrej, Pramod Kumar Agarwal Sahab, Chairman JNPT, Chairman MBPT, President BCCA, all dignitaries, various commissioners, additional commissioners, very, very good evening to all of you. My association with AILBIEA is as old as AILBIEA. I have grown in my career with AILBIEA. 2001 and 2, when I was Deputy Commissioner in Bombay Custom House, the first lesson of any custom officer I have learnt by holding hands of AILBIEA. There was one incident I would like to quote. I was in charge for EDI. We were trying to bring as many modules as possible into EDI from manual mode. So I was supervising, ensuring, saying that it was going on. One very fine gentleman told me, Mr. Rahman, you have a long way to go. I think that time, maybe so many years. He told me that please develop a habit of listening to the trade. You try to understand their problems. Whether you solve or not is a different matter, but at least try to see what is that they are trying to tell. And this is one lesson I have learned, and probably I continued to have this habit of listening. In fact, at that time we called help desk, local problems, local solutions, and some problems, national solutions. So keeping, I don't know how 23 years have passed by, and time flies very fast. The basic issues either he is a customs officer, whether he is a port administrator, whether he is any stakeholder, CHA, importer, exporter. See, certain things one has to be very clear. One is criticality of this liquid bulk cargo. Not many people feel the depth of the cargo. The contribution of revenue that it does is one that has to understand. There are 2 D factors if you have seen. One is damage. At airport, when we stand, if it takes time for us to, our suitcase or briefcase to come, how much uneasy do we feel as a passenger? And here, a vessel, so many thousands of tons of liquid cargo, it could be edible oil, it could be solvents, it could be chemicals, it could be petroleum, is standing there for your permission. Can you imagine how powerful you are? Please don't misuse your power. Try to make the D as a small. Damage should be as small as possible, and better look into the discharge certificate. The only very simple process, you have to take BL, you have to take some document and give discharge certificate. I do not know, what is actually difficulty. I'm not fault finding with either side, both will have to cooperate. Please understand, saying that government has taken so many measures, 2 steps forward we are coming. At the same time, sir, please take it as an appeal. the trade also has to come 4 steps forward. Then only the shake hand happen, then only the industry will grow. Second most important factor I want to say was not only the clearance, a discharge certificate is about the shore tank facility, the storage tank that they create, the warehousing permissions we give, public bonded warehouse, private bonded warehouse, into bonding that happens, custom process, and the expanding this has happened. This has also has to be done with a lot of dignity for this. The BL quantity that is mentioned into the into bond and expanding stage, we'll have to be very careful, custom officers. And here also I will request both trade as well as custom department to join together to ensure saying that the cargo is evacuated as much as possible. Last but not the least, very important thing is the shore tank facility, I feel should be used in future as a gateway port. In fact, the cargo comes in a vessel, discharges into shore tank installations, terminals, and from there the takeoff happens. So I wish to stay and see this day to come when shore tank installations are handled both by the port administrators as well as custom officers as well as the trade as a gateway for such a huge and important cargo. So with those words, I won't take much of time. I again thank such audience have been associated in between 2001 to 2. If I remember 2000, I think 10 to 13 I was associated. Again, now 2024 I have been called. I am very thankful to Mr. Jain, particularly Mr. Harsh, and all the AILBIEA office bearers for calling me once again to be associated with you. And I would just like to conclude before parting to say one. It's a bigger picture. Sir, Indian economy is at very, very turning point. Honorable Prime Minister and many people have been telling that India is going to be a developed country. India is going to play a major role in the world economics. Sir, believe me, 2024, 25, 26 are going to be very, very critical years, both for the government as well as for the trade. If we do not work together, we will miss the bus forever. The situation today is either you make it or break it. Choice is between both of us. I am very sure India will come up as an economic superpower in the country. With best wishes to all of you. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Rahman sir. You rightly said, we have seen those days when discharge permissions were given in seconds. The warehousing license permissions were being given in hours. And today, unfortunately, it's taking days. Things should change. Because we have to work in a holistic manner. We have, like Mr. Rahman sir said, you come 2 steps, we take 4 steps. The trust base should come from the mind and the heart. And installations like Aegis, various big installations, which actually serve the nation, to boost the economy, to propel the economy. Are we going to find faults? Are we going to delay their permissions? Are we going to put speed breakers because they are the one facilitators? I think these are the people who should be honored by the Customs Revenue Department, the installations, because they are the ones, the goose that lays the golden egg for the customs. Thank you, Mr. Rahman sir. And we will call you every year. Please keep boosting boosting our confidence. We are indeed grateful for you. And now we have yet another dynamic. See, at AILBIEA, we believe that we would like to honor and felicitate the custom officers, because I don't think anybody, they do a thankless job. When there are delays, we accuse them. When there is any, see, they have a mindset which is of a revenue angle, which is fair. But if there are any delays, we have cast aspersions, we say no, but you should realize that they are on the other side. The best way is to come in between. And the man who brought in the new scheme, which after that the FM announced, Samvad se Samadhan, am I right? Or it's a, mera Hindi thoda bahut acha hai. Nahin, So, sit with the importers and come to a, today we find penalties, people being penalized at the drop of the hat. Why? Custom brokers being penalized at the drop of the hat. Why? This is not the age we are in. So with that, I would call upon Mr. P.K. Agarwal, one of the great facilitators of all the facilitation done at Mumbai Customs.
Shubh Sandhya, good evening. Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. And sitting there, my partners in progress. It gives me immense pleasure to be here this evening. And I thank AILBIEA and especially Jayant ji that he called me from Bangalore. And he still considered me part of Mumbai Customs, because you must have seen this just before, when Mr. Harsh Lapsia was introducing, he said, Principal Chief Commissioner of Customs, because he said you have worked so many years in Customs. So we hardly have forgotten, and we don't know whether you are GST Principal Chief Commissioner or not. We have heard message from our chairman, CBIC. We have heard his commitment. We have heard the commitment and steps taken by CBIC under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister. My learned colleague Rahman has already briefed about the issues the liquid bulk trade is facing. Let me also go back, as Rahman has said, his association, slightly 1 year back. Rahman was associated with 2000 as Deputy Commissioner, and since 2001, exactly, your association born in 2001, and I was also associated as Joint Commissioner from that day with the liquid bulk in Mumbai Customs. And believe me, whether I was posted in Mumbai, whether I was posted out of Mumbai, I was always associated in one or other ways with the liquid bulk cargo. You see, the 4 words which are very important here: all India liquid bulk import and export. What else we need? We need liquid, we need bulk, we need import, we need export. That's EXIM trade for us now. We cover 67%. Friends, I heard a lot, and I have taken it very seriously. Trust best. Mr. Nadir Godrej is here. Some of you may be knowing, some of you may not be knowing. Let me set an example of trust-based and transparent administration, trust in total trust, TT, total trust in trade. I joined here as Chief Commissioner in Mumbai Customs in September 2021. Mr. Jayant Lapsia came in first week of October to felicitate me, with a bouquet of flowers. I said, no. Let me understand what bothers you. The one issue, of course, so many issues. Remember, he said, sir, the major taxpayer, Godrej Industries, is facing with a very peculiar problem. I said, what? Tell me. He said, their AEO license has been cancelled. I said, Godrej is not AEO certificate holder. He said, yes. I said, what has happened? And he gave me an example that one so-called notice issued, if I remember correctly, but somewhere by Ahmedabad, this thing. Then and there, I took upon me, not that I told my commissioner to write something to me. I said, I take guarantee. I take guarantee. And next day, I traveled to Godrej headquarters in Bikroli myself with my team. I traveled to Godrej headquarters in Bikroli with my team. I understood the issue, and within a month, license was, AEO authorization was restored. So this is the commitment of CBIC. This is the commitment of Customs Department. When we say customs, I don't say it is a customs as a regulator. The first thing which comes to my mind from the word C, the first letter, sir, is the commitment. And second is coordination. And third is cooperation. The key word which I had devised the day I joined as commissioner, and of course the chief commissioner in Mumbai Customs, that everything has to be resolved with dialogue. Samvad se samadhan. We have to have dialogue. That litigation has no place. And believe me, as long as I was here the chief commissioner or principal chief commissioner, I tried to reduce the litigation to the minimum. You come back. As Jayant ji has said, when I called for the meeting with the trade, they sent their representatives. We were there always to support you, to assist you, to guide you. Whether you send me a mail, whether you send us a representation in writing, or whether your person comes to meet us, we'll greet you with folded hands. I'm telling you, believe us. We are there to support you. You are the partners in progress. You are the nation builder. We are not the nation builder. I am only a facilitator. I am one of the stakeholder. You contribute 67% to the exchequer. You are the nation builder in the real sense. Now, one of the speakers has spoken that Customs Department has come a long way. Yes, we were there with you. We have changed ourselves. And for your kind information, let me tell you the commitment of CBIC, which we are undergoing at the cutting-edge level officers, inspectors, and superintendents. We call it preventive officers and examiner. 25,000 officers are being trained by December end this year for their behavioral changes that they have to support for the trade. They have to work for the trade. The real service attitude has to come in the service. We are being trained now. We are training officers. We have started in September. We'll conclude, more than 25,000 officers will be changed. We talk of not regulatory agency. We are talking of a facilitating agency. Of course, I am very much concerned, Janji, that you said that we were clearing in 15 minutes, and now it says taking days. Let me commit one small thing, but of course I am a very few days left when I'll hang up my boots as government servant. I'll be going that side. I'll be going that side. And I commit again, even if after I'm not in the government, my work to serve you people will be in a more independent and more forceful manner. That I will keep on serving you. Don't worry about that. Whatever has not come, let me go that side. It will come. I'm telling you, it will come. Let technology play its role. Don't stop that technology to play its role. Let transparency play its role. But trust has to come there. Trust-based customs administration has to come. A trade-friendly, we call it. Trade-friendly administration will come. जयंत जी ने कहा बहुत ज़्यादा समय मैं नहीं लूँगा, लेकिन लास्ट में 2-3 पंक्तियाँ हिंदी में हम अभी अपना बहुत कुछ वी हैव टू गो ए लॉन्ग वे, बहुत लंबा रास्ता अभी नापना है. ये युग है, किसने कहा था ये युग है परिवर्तन का, ये युग है बदलाव का, ये युग है विकास का, डेवलपमेंट का. एंड वी हैव टू सी इन आवर टाइम ओनली इंडिया एज अ डेवलप्ड कंट्री. भारत को विकसित भारत बनाना है. हम सबों का योगदान उसमें चाहिए. फुल पार्टिसिपेशन विथ 100% कमिटमेंट. अंत में 2 पंक्तियां. हम अभी न रुके हैं न थके हैं. नींद कहाँ उनकी आंखों में जो धुन के मतवाले हैं. नींद कहाँ उनकी आंखों में जो धुन के मतवाले हैं. गति की तृषा. गति की तृषा मीन्स वी वांट मोर मोशन, मोर प्रोग्रेस. तृषा मीन्स इच्छा, डिजायर. गति की तृषा और बढ़ जाती पढ़ते पद में जब छाले हैं. चैलेंजेज वर्क फॉर अस. वी हैव स्टूड बाय द चैलेंजेज. थैंक यू वेरी मच. जय हिंद, जय भारत.
Thank you, sir. Spoke from a heart with passion, with conviction. And every word he said, he has done, he has acted, and he means it. And this is what is a custom officer's trademark, a hallmark. Next, we have, of course, Mr. Rustam told me that I will come on the dais only on one condition, that you will not tell me to speak, because if you tell me to speak, you will have to pay me. And if you don't call me to speak, then I'll pay you. I prefer not calling him to speak. I hope you don't mind. Thank you. Oh. So, well, next we have yet another youngster of Firebrand, Mr. Shankar Shinde, the chairman of Freight, what is that? International Custom Brokers Association. Now, this is one of the biggest achievements for us, a proud moment for all of us. Mr. Shankar Shinde, the youngster dynamic, please.
Thank you, Jayant Bhai. A very good evening. Dignitaries on the dais, respected dignitaries of the dais. It's always a pleasure to attend the AILBIEA and not to miss it at whatever cost. Thanks, Jayant Bhai. The words you said, the old days were the golden days. On one side, we talk about the progress, facilitation, developments, and then why such words come that the old days were the golden days in our industry. I think so that's a sad part of it then. Let us see together how we can wake up. On one side, we have already seen that there is a lot of initiatives undergoing under the Government of India. We have been regularly participating in these initiatives. Last 2 days, we have been deliberating on the AIO Global Dialogue. We were in Delhi today afternoon, till today afternoon. Revenue Secretary himself guided us. Appealing every person, the supply chain stakeholders, to make it more secure, efficient, and participate in this AIO program. From the government side, I think so. At the top level, there is a lot of initiatives taken. Implementation level, we need to see how we can really practically get into the right form. Government has established this NCTF, National Committee on Trade Facilitation Measures. And there is a mandate with the WCO working program to have this efficiency in the system. We at the government, under the Ministry of Commerce, they have the ISIG, Special Improvement Group, where the integrated all government platform has been created with the technology help. And we are open to post all our grievances on that platform, which will help to address in every ministry and bring down this such type of problem. On this occasion of 23 years of successful journey, I would like to congratulate the association. It's a long way they have come, and wishing them all the best for future. I would not like to take a lot of time on this forum and this celebration, but surely like to congratulate and give my wishes for the future. With this, I would like to end up here, and let us collaborate and participate in the success journey of this government in achieving greater heights. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Shankar. Indeed, we are very much proud of you and Mr. Dushyant. I mean, you have been creating waves at this young age, adorning the international status. Chairmanship of freight forwarders, custom brokers is a very, very big thing for all of us. And now with abated breath, the icing on the cake, as we all eagerly wait for. And friends, this is what I say, that always live with a developed mind and a developed heart, not with a commercial mind and a commercial heart. Here is a man, an icon of Indian industries, a man who is in the top 5. Today we have Mr. MP Tapriya, we have Mr. Rustam Joshi, all industrialists. They could have just come for 5 minutes, grace the occasion, go, but they are here. Itself should be an eye-opener for all of us. Learn humility from them. They are today, India is proud of them. Today you go anywhere in the world, anywhere, and you say that you know Godrej, and people will respect you. That is the amount of respect Godrej holds in the world. And Mr. Nadir Godrej, I think, is a man who is also, I don't know whether he's been conferred the citizenship of France. No, not yet. Don't worry, you won't have dual citizenship. But every country wants to honor him and felicitate him because these people are noble. Noble in real terms. N-O-B-L-E, noble. It's not on what we hear on paper. So when Mr. Nadir Godrej takes his time out as a chairman of one of the biggest industries in the country, who are we to look at the watches? I mean, where are we living? So here we have Mr. Nadir Godrej. Sir, if you can sit and we'll give you a mic, or would like to come here? Okay. So the applause that will be in a form of standing ovation, but now as the starters, you can give him a big round of applause.
All our dignitaries from customs, the dignitaries from the ports, and the dignitaries from the industry. Jayant, thank you very much for those kind words. India's economy is on the rise, so supporting our trade is very wise. Liquid bulk plays a major part. It is at the very heart. AILBIEA plays a major role. Efficient trade is their goal. Alas, it's no longer plain sailing. On many fronts, we are failing. Clearances are rather slow. We have no idea where to go. While much goes well, one still grieves to present our few peeves. The assessments are very slow. We just don't know where to go. In the past, there was trade facilitation, a fair response to escalation. Wrong orders now seem to abound, and assessment variances are found. We should now try and simplify, or else quietly let these schemes die. CBIC is a good aid. Commissioners help the trade, but there are problems on the ground. Our trade can no longer coast if we run from pillar to post. The faceless scheme has lost all face as things proceed at a snail pace. No matter how hard we try, we get stuck with EDI. In order for our trade to flow, perhaps it's time that these schemes go. For liquid bulk, if not for all, it is high time we took a call. AILBIEA would like to see a face and settle things case by case. Delays are an aggravation and very harmful to our nation. Demurrage is a heavy cost, so much foreign exchange is lost. If customs does what is right, we will no longer have this plight. Their intentions are surely good, but it should be understood. We still have no peace or rest until the outcomes are the best. For our nation to reach full potential, a good solution is essential. New regulations come very fast, much quicker than in the past. All traders should pay careful heed. Following regulations is an urgent need. New rules we need to quickly read and follow in order to succeed. All port authorities now ought to provide more berths at every port. Together, we should try and fix it if our Bharat's to be Viksit. Thank you.
As always, spellbinding. And trust me, Mr. MP Taparia, Chairman of Supreme Petrochem, one of the doyens of industries in the world, when we went to invite him, he just returned. He returned yesterday from his foreign tour. And he had some couple of engagements already lined up months back. But he said, I'll come for AILBIEA and I'll come for Nadir Godrej. I want to listen to his poem. But unfortunately, the time, of course, he didn't. But he said, I would like to meet Mr. Nadir Godrej. Seeing him in AILBIEA, I mean, that motivates me. Now, this comes from a man who himself is a doyen. How many of us would do that? We would rather sit at home and watch something, serial or soap opera on a television, rather than coming here and taking the blessings. The very presence of such noble gentlemen are presence, blessings in various forms. Now we'll proceed to the glittering Splash AILBIEA Awards, and I request all of you to please applaud each and every awardee. And should you desire to be an awardee next year, you have to show some commitment towards AILBIEA and also sponsor AILBIEA events. Thank you. Incidentally, no riders. None of these awardees are sold, and we have not taken a single advertisement from these awardees. Awardees are exempt from advertisements and sponsorships. But if you do this year, then maybe we'll consider next year. Thank you. I would request Chandrasekhar, please come on the dais. Because we have to play musical chairs. No, I wouldn't like to see an empty chair.
Friends, we have come to the final leg of our evening. We thank everyone for their patient audience. As we move forward to the AILBIEA Splash Awards, the first award that AILBIEA is conferring, which is the pride of the liquid bulk industry, it is being conferred to Mr. Dorab Mistry. Dorab sir, unfortunately, is unable to be with us here today. He is currently in Singapore. A very quick brief on Dorab sir for his legendary contribution to our industry. So, Dorab Mistry has been active in the vegetable oil industry and trade ever since he joined the Godrej Group as an executive trainee in October 1976. He was fortunate to learn commodity trading from one of the giants of this industry, Mr. Adi Godrej. And he, along with his younger brother, Mr. Nadir Godrej, was in the process of building up Godrej Soaps as a major Indian national FMCG and industrial group. Mr. Dorab is a graduate in Commerce and Law from Bombay University and a chartered accountant. At the PE1 examination of the Indian Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, he stood first in India out of 7,700 candidates and was awarded the President's Gold Medal. He was sent to the newly established London branch of the Godrej Soaps Limited in November 1977, just when India had allowed private sector imports of vegetable oils. Since the time, he has been involved in trading vegetable oils, including palm, soya, rapeseed oil, and sun oil. He has served as a FOSA arbitrator and also on the Arbitration Appeals Board of FOSA. Dorab sir has been a director of Godrej International Limited since 1992 and of Godrej International and Trading Investments in Singapore since 2011. Currently, he spends his time between London and Singapore. Dorab sir continues to be actively engaged in our industry, particularly in the Solvent Extractors Association of India. At this juncture, Dorab sir has sent across a short message to our association. I'd request if the team can play out his short message.
Hello, it is a great pleasure and I am truly humbled to have been given this award by people from our own industry. Recognition by our own industry, by our own peers, is always the highest form of recognition. And I am honored and humbled by this award being presented today. And I am even more flattered and honored that my beloved, dear boss, with whom I have worked for over 3 decades, Mr. Nadir Godrej, is here present and going to receive the award on my behalf. It is an honor. Normally I would receive an award at his hands and it would be a great honor to do that. And here he is come to do me a big favor and be present. My association with the Khona family, Umarshi Manshi Khona, started almost the same year as I entered the industry, which was in 1976, as an executive trainee for the company as it was known in those days, Godrej Soaps Limited. And I was truly a trainee in commodity trading, sitting at the feet of my boss, Adi Godrej, who trained me in the art and craft or the science of commodities. And Godrej has always had a great love affair with commodities. And I believe that if Godrej have flourished as an FMCG company, it is partly due to the great emphasis that we have put on purchase, commodities, and our core competency of handling the commodity risk in a very professional and profitable manner. This has been the difference. When I came into the industry, there were 4 large FMCG companies: Hindustan Lever, Tata Oil Mills, Godrej, and Swastik Oil Mills. As you know, Tata Oil Mills was sold by the Tatas to Hindustan Unilever. And Swastik, the company which was so strong with debt detergent, as you know, went bust. But Godrej survived thanks to very professional management, very determined management, and very successful forays in the commodity market. And for that, edible oil imports became very critical after the year 1977. And from that time, we have been associated with the liquid bulk cargo people, and in particularly with Kirit Bhai to start, and then Jayant, and now Jayant's son. And the Khona family have always guided us in how to get through the procedural, documentational, and efficiency barriers that others encounter. And we are very grateful to them, and we always believe that we have to work hand in hand with the bureaucracy, with the government, because these are all important stakeholders in order that we give our consumer the best deal possible. In my case, I branched out into doing research on the fundamentals of supply and demand, and that has been a very rewarding experience for me. We had all-time highs in the palm oil market in 2022. The market broke finally on 8th of June 2022. I am afraid this year also the outlook is fairly bullish for vegetable oil, partly because the sunseed crop is much smaller than expected in the Black Sea region. The rapeseed crop in Canada, in Europe, is much smaller. And palm oil production has stagnated. Per hectare productivity of palm oil is coming down. There is no expansion. The NGOs will not allow expansion. Indonesia has got a moratorium. So, on a jumbo jet which normally flies on 4 engines, palm, sun, soya and rape, 2 engines are out, sun and rape. Now we have 2 engines, palm which is okay and soya which is fiery. But if there is a problem in South America and the crop has just been planted, then I am afraid even the single engine of the jumbo jet is going to splutter. So that is why in Bali last week I said that while we saw ATH all-time highs in June 2022, do not be surprised if we see a repeat of that, because capricious climate change has become a factor that has to live with us, and we are not doing enough to get by climate change, to increase productivity and to ensure that our consumer gets stable prices. So enough of the lecturing. Once again, thank you Jayant Bhai, thank you Mr. Nadir Godrej, thank you to all my friends in the industry. I am honored and humbled and very flattered by your kindness. Thank you.
Friends, just a word about Mr. Dorab. Today, he is hailed as one of the greatest men in the edible oil industry, and when he speaks at various conferences, big conferences, Global is one of them, which has the presence of over 1,500 to 2,000 delegates from all over the world. And when there is a session of Mr. Dorab Mistry, trust me, the hall is jam-packed, people are standing, sitting everywhere, not an inch of space is available. Such is the impact created by Mr. Dorab Mistry. I only wish that he was here, but he, of course, maybe in future. Every forum and his predictions today, even the Indonesian Malaysians go by what. And there are 2 great people who have a visionary forecast in vegetable oils. One is Mr. Dorab Mistry and one is sitting here, Mr. G. Chandrasekhar. Both may be contrasting in their own styles, but both are great predictors of the forecast of agri-commodities, especially the edible oils and the related soapy oils. Thank you.
At this juncture, As Dorab sir has already mentioned, Mr. Nadir Godrej shall be receiving the award on behalf of Mr. Dorab sir. I call upon Mr. Jayant Lapsia, our President, and Sri P.K. Agarwal sir to please hand over the award on behalf of Mr. Dorab Mistry to and Mr. Shah, please. Pradeep Shah sir. Mr. Rustom, please. I request our AILBIEA committee members to please join us by the stage. The next award is a special citation in recognition of exceptional contribution to trade facilitation during your esteemed tenure as Principal Chief Commissioner of Customs, Mumbai Zone 1. This citation has been ordered to Mr. Pramod Kumar Agarwal sir, who is currently the Principal Chief Commissioner CGST Bangalore Zone. I call upon our President and Mr. Manik Nasta and Pramod Padale to please come on the dais and facilitate, sir. The special citation in recognition of exceptional contribution to trade facilitation is also being awarded to Sri Rajesh Pandey sir, who is unfortunately was unable to make it today over here because of certain urgent commitments in Delhi. Sri Rajesh Pandey sir was, in his previous tenure, the Chief Commissioner of Customs Zone 2, Nhava Sheva, and currently he is holding the charge as Principal Director General, DGGI, New Delhi. We promise, sir, that members of AILBIEA will personally hand over the award to him in Delhi in the coming week. But in this audience, we wish all of you to extend a warm round of applause to Rajesh Pandey, sir. Thank you. The next AILBIEA Awards is to Messrs. Crescent Organics Private Limited for their over 60 years of significant contribution to the liquid bulk industry. I'd like to call the directors from Crescent, the entire team from Crescent which is here, to please come on the dais and accept the award from Sri Nadir Godrej sir and Mr. Pramod Kumar Agarwal sir. The next award from our fraternity is going out to one of our members who have recently gone public in the stock exchanges, Messrs. Shiv Texcam Limited, for being the most progressive and proactive importer in the year 2023-2024. I'd request any representative from Messrs. Shiv Tex, their managing director unfortunately couldn't make it here today due to a personal matter, but I request the representative from Mr. Shiv Tex to please join us. I request Mr. Sudhir Malhotra sir and Mr. S.K. Rahman sir to please confer the award to them.
Incidentally, today the share prices have gone up because of the award. Please buy and sell it day after tomorrow.
The next name needs no introduction to the members of our liquid bulk fraternity. He's been, I would say, one of the legends of our industry. The award for being an outstanding personality in the liquid bulk trade goes to Mr. Kashyap Desai, the Vice President of Adani Ports and SEZ Limited. I request Mr. Dushyant Mulani and Mr. G. Chandrasekhar sir to please do the honors. The next award goes to another unassuming but a person who has contributed significantly to this liquid bulk industry for being an outstanding personality, the General Manager of Messrs. Vision Industries Limited, Mr. C.G. Menon. Mr. Menon, sir, I hope you have reached here with us. Not a problem. We will be handing it over to him at his organization's office. The next award, as a part of our award segment in recognizing members from the trade in general, this award goes to the most prominent youth in EXIM trade, and it goes to Mrs. Chaitali Mehta, the Director of EKF Global Logistics Private Limited. Chaitali also heads the Women's Wing in the Federation of Freight Forwarders Association of India. I request Mr. Nadir Godrej sir and Shankar Shinde sir to please confer the award on Chaitali. This year, as our president has said at AILBIEA, we endeavor to do something new every time. As following the directives as well as the guidance from CBIC and WCO, in fact, our member customs had recently held an outreach program regarding gender inclusivity in our fraternity. We are proud that AILBIEA has always been at the forefront in this regard, and today we are honored to recognize two such individuals who continue to play a significant role. The first being, currently, she is the CEO of Kenas Associates, again our AILBIEA member, Ms. Geeta Suvarna. She heads the operations. She's the CEO of Kenas Associates for being an outstanding women's executive in the liquid bulk trade. Huge round of applause, please. I request Sri S.K. Rahman sir and Mr. G. Chandrasekhar sir to please do the honors. Last but not the least, this person has also been in the liquid bulk trade for over 15 years now, and it is my privilege to announce that the next award for being an outstanding women's executive in liquid bulk trade goes to Mrs. Tarvinder Kaur, the head of operations at Khona & Co. A big round of applause, please. I request Mr. Dushyant Mulani sir and Mr. Sudhir Malhotra sir to please do the honors.
Friends, just 2 more minutes you'll have to bear. Now we have exciting moments. Now in every event there are exciting moments. Now what are those exciting moments? Nobody is going to tell you a hilarious joke, but here we have to honor, and besides the dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, there are many people who have taken trouble of coming all the way and being an integral part of the celebrations. We would like to say a big thank you and a sense of gratitude for their presence. Harsh will take the names of our AILBIEA committee members. And here I would say AILBIEA is a strong force. You can see the pillars of AILBIEA standing, and they deserve a big round of applause. तेरे को बोला ताली बजाने को बोलेगा.
Yes, sir. We've come to the last leg of today evening. As our president mentioned, we are fortunate not only to have the galaxy of dignitaries on the dais, but the presence of dignitaries in the audience as well. And we will just take a couple of minutes to quickly honor them at their seat. I request our AILBIEA committee members, as I call out their names, to kindly extend an honor to them. I'll start with Commissioner of Customs from Mumbai Zone 1, Ms. Priya Goyal, ma'am. I request Mr. Manik Nasta to please extend an honor to her. I now call upon Mr. Rajesh Krishnani to extend the honor to Mr. Aslam Hassan, sir, Commissioner Customs Mumbai Zone 1 Exports. I now request Mr. Pramod Pardale to please honor Mr. A.P. Kotari, sir, Commissioner of Customs Audit, Mumbai Zone 1. I request Mr. Bharat Trivedi to please honor Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Singh, sir, Commissioner of Customs Exports, Mumbai Zone 2. I now call upon Mr. Ashish Modi to please honor Mr. Ramesh Ram, sir, Commissioner of Customs, GST. I call upon Mr. Pramod Pardale, sir, to extend an honor to Ms. Preeti Chaudhary, ma'am, the Regional Director, Western Zone, FSSAI, the Food Safety Standards of India. Now call Mr. Trevor Cordero to please extend an honor to Mr. Rakesh Nair from Supreme Petrochem. Just a few more names, friends. I call upon Mr. Rajesh Krishnani to extend an honor to Mr. Shantanu Bhatkamkar, sir, from Asocam, Amtoy. He is one of the legends of our custom broking fraternity. I request Mr. Manik Nasta to extend an honor to Mr. Sorab Engineer, sir. Is he here? Sorab, sir? Yes. Our past president of BCBA and another legend of our industry, Mr. Sorab Engineer, sir. I request Mr. Pramod Padale to present an honor to Mr. Prabhat Kumar Sir, Commissioner Advanced Ruling. I request Ashish Modi sir to extend an honor to Mr. Deepak Dalvi from Vopak. Aegis Vopak now. I request Mr. Bharat Trivedi to extend an honor to Mr. Ashish Pednekar, past president of BCBA and one of the legends of our industry. Please, sir. Amongst the guests here, we are very fortunate to have with us Ms. Charmaine Remedios, Senior Vice President from Reliance Industries. I request Mr. Trevor Cordero to please extend an warm honor to Ms. Charmaine Remedios. And last but definitely not the least, to also my president of BCBA, Sanjeev Harale sir, I request Mr. Manik Nasta to please come forward and extend an honor to the president of the Brihan Mumbai Custom Brokers Association, Shri Sanjeev Harale sir. Due to paucity of time, we would have loved to honor, we have many additional commissioners, joint commissioners, and other officers of the trade in our midst. We are really, really thankful and grateful for your presence. Just making it known to all the audience over here. Thank you.
How many plans do we have? No, because then if it is over, the function is over. Harsh was very, very diplomatic when he said that, additional commissioners, joint commissioners, members of the trade. But if anybody desires to have this plan, please raise your hands. You want? Okay. After the event, you can please contact Harsh and we'll, with a check. Friends, on behalf of AILBIEA, I would like to thank each and every one of you. And if any words spoken have indeed created any impact, adverse or good, I'm not sorry, I meant it. I would like to thank all the sponsors, all those who have helped. Is there? All the sponsors who have helped, all those who have helped in organizing this event. To run an association calls for steadfastness, a great conviction, and we need resources. Finance is one of them. And I would like to thank Mr. Nadir Godrej when we went, without batting an eyelid. He said, here, take it. Each of them, Mr. Rustam, Mr. Ayush Agarwal of HUL, and Sudhir. What Sudhir told me, kitna bhi kharcha hoga, deficit mere se le lena. So I said, why not continue at Trident only? Because kharcha to Sudhir dene wala hai. One thing, next week, one good news is that Aegis is starting operations at JNPT. That is a commitment we are giving Sudhir. Next week, the first vessel will berth at JNPT and will pump cargo into Aegis tanks. And Harsh.
Friends, before we conclude with the national anthem, I would be failing in my duties if there was one name that was missed, or rather one organization missed out. One of the founder members of AILBIEA, we are honored to welcome Mr. Ayush Agarwal and Shagufta ma'am from Hindustan Unilever Limited. I request you to please come forward. I call upon Mr. Pramod Padale and Rajesh Krishnani to please do the honors. Big round of applause, please.
Mr. Ayush, would you like to say a few words? Paisa vasool karke jao yaar. Please, 2 words. We are proud of him, one of the most enterprising, seniors in Hindustan Unilever at such a young age. We take pride and we would love to hear 2 words from him. Not thank you, but something more.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for giving this opportunity, Janbhai. I didn't expect it, but thank you for giving this opportunity. We are one of the largest importers of palm oil for our soaps business, and I think the industry and all the work that AILBIEA is doing to support the trade is magnificent, and we continue to doing what you have been doing. And thank you. Thank you for that. A limited one, but thank you.
Thank you, Ayush. Friends, a big round of applause for yourselves, because from this side I can't. So for yourselves, a big round of applause. I request all of you to remain upstanding for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Bharat Mata ki. Please, we'll have a group photograph, please. We can come, Shankar. Come. All members, please don't forget to collect your gift after dinner. I request all AILBIEA committee members to take the guests